right, back again with another one. Me and the guys having a game plan show,
Sure.
talking our talk, and we have some amazing guests on tonight. And we are honored to be able to have this platform and given to us, by the honorable, Dr. C. And so I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited for this conversation and what we can shed light to in regards to Women History Month, right? And we want to celebrate some women that are doing some powerful things. But guess what, guys? We got a special I would say we got special guests, of course, but these just not any guests, right? These guests are really being able to share what they have been doing, but they're not, necessarily in the United States. And that's what's actually cool. And so I'm excited to see what that can look like. So how y'all feeling today, man?
And I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited about the show.
Yes, sir. Like you said, two different people from two different countries. We're going worldwide. It seems like now.
Worldwide. I like that. So
Oh,
let's get
wow.
get into some introductions so we can bring them on. My name, Jaquez Baldwin, and basically for the last 3 years, I've been helping families when it comes to leading their way to wealth. And I think being able to shed light in financial education, but also leadership, I think that kind of spans off to different things. And so I'm excited to just be able to speak on Women History Month, but also kind of share a little bit about more about who I am in regards to sharing this platform with you, brothers. So, what about you, Len?
So for me, everybody, my name is Lennox Francis. I'm a cybersecurity specialist currently in the government contracting space. So I mean, my three areas that I mainly work in are risk management, identity access management, and incident response. And like Quez said, I'm here today to talk to some women in a good way and women that we recently met and that we made connections with, but we want to, like Quez said, shed the light onto the community and let them know how we get down. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yes, sir. I'm just Brandon. Glad to be here with my brothers again, man. It's an amazing day. It's been an amazing week, and man, I'm just glad to be here and the conversation today. I've been ready all month, really, just to have this show today. So it's gonna be real big. The ladies that we brought, today. Um, it's just a big show. I'm ready to get into it. I'm not gonna say too much.
Let's do it.
So Brandon, who do you invite? Right, tell us about who she is. What she's about, and let's go ahead and bring her on.
Yeah, so my guest is a good friend of mine from South Africa. She stays in Cape Town, and it's the story behind how we met is just like it's one for the books. I was there on a business trip slash like birthday trip with my mentor Jay White, and what was it on the flight from Johannesburg to Cape Town?
Yeah.
She was on the window. She had the window seat, and I had the aisle seat. But me, and the guy in between us, he was like a foreigner from somewhere else too. But so you could tell he wasn't interested in the sights. But me, I wanted to get pictures of the mountains we were seeing. I wanted a bunch of pictures. So I just asked her could she take pictures, and then from there we just like sparked and hung out for the rest of that day, and we met up again while I think my last day in Cape Town, and
Yeah.
just seeing like how like her being in Africa, but she still got the same type of drive and ambition that um I have, and a bunch of other people that I have that I know, like my peers here in the back home. So I just immediately connected with her, and we've been like talking frequently for the last year. It's almost 2 years since we met, almost. So
Oh,
so yeah, we've been rocking strong. But yeah, everybody, it's Carolyn Moringa, and yeah, we'll bring her on in, and let's see what's going on.
hello,
Hey,
hello.
Caroline.
Hi guys, how are you guys? Yeah, thank you for allowing me to be part of this. You guys are amazing, and yeah, I'm happy to be here. Like Brandon said, I'm a student at the University of Cape Town, currently studying computer science, and this is my last year actually. And I'm also working for a designer brand owned by two amazing women, Marit and Colleen. So the brand is called Marit Colleen. And yeah, I'm excited to share some insightful knowledge with everybody else. And yeah, that's all I can say.
Yeah,
Glad to have you.
definitely glad to have you. Congratulations. You said I think it's your last year, right? In school?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Congratulations. I know
It's
that feel
actually
like a
my undergrad. Yeah,
yeah, I know that feel like a
yeah, it
big burden
definitely
off your chest.
does.
Like, okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Hmm.
So let's you have a great story, Brandon, how you met Caroline, and it was crazy. I think both of you guys was on that trip. Unfortunately, y'all left me out. I wasn't. I'm just playing. But I wasn't on that trip when y'all went to Africa. But guess what? I was with Lynn. So hold on, Lynn, you was with Brandon in
Right.
Africa. Then me and you was
Yes.
in Atlanta, and we was at it was called Black Millionaire Conference. And
Right.
so we went to this conference, and we just talking to people. The next thing you know, we end up saying, "Hey, it's a red carpet. Let's take our picture." And then we saw a nice young lady say, "Hey, see if you can take her picture." And then she took our picture. The next thing you know, we connected. She was rocking a brand. She started rocking. She had a brand on. I'm asking about it, and next thing you know, she told me that she's from Fort Lauderdale, or she's from Florida. And I'm like, "Okay, you from Florida, so I'm assuming you stay here." She's like, "No, I stay in Florida." I'm like, "Okay, so maybe you down here for like a family trip or something." She said, "No, I came to this event."
Right.
Wow, like you literally you came from Florida all the way up to Atlanta just to come to a business event. And I was like, yeah, she got to be serious about business. And then from that point forward, me and her have did a lot of, we connected constantly, done business together. Like I'm excited to share about the type of business that we have done together already. But this person is an entrepreneur, digital creator. She's the owner of Nubian Beauty District, and she's also in another country as well. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm gonna let her say it herself. But she's getting her business management degree and studying abroad. So without further ado, let's introduce Miss Destiny.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Destiny. I'm so happy to be here, you guys. Thank you for the introduction. It was very well said. I appreciate it. As Jacquez mentioned, my name is Destiny. I'm the owner of Nubian Beauty District, and I am studying abroad in Paris, France, getting my business management degree, having the grandest time, eating plenty of croissants, and I'm just so excited to be here with y'all today.
Okay.
Okay.
So when you come back, you bringing us some food, right?
When I come back, I'm not eating no American food. Straight up. I don't want it.
I love it. I love
Gotcha.
it.
So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the name of the show is called The Game Plan. If you didn't know, the game plan is we're here to hear the perspectives of others individuals, like-minded individuals, to share the knowledge and share knowledge with each other. Because what you learn, you must pass down to one another to, enhance your brain, just get different insights and just grow together. So with that being said, we're here to inspire and uplift each other, and that's exactly what we came to do. So let's get into the show. My first question of the night, I would have to say. So I just want to say, Women's History Celebration. We're talking about networking with females, women. So we want to share some perspectives of how we should go about networking with women and some experience that you had networking with men as well. And it's either up to one of the guests, Destiny or Caroline. You guys could choose who goes first.
So, so I know
Um,
I was going to mention, like, in regards to networking with women, I'm about to
Right.
say, in y'all perspective, let's say, to kind of switch it up a little bit. Let's say, for instance, some guys, networking with you guys. I know y'all women, so it's like y'all networking with women, like
Right.
that's kind of a normal experience. But what about when it comes to us guys, and what does that look like? Have y'all had a bad experience, some good experiences when it comes to, when it comes to doing business relationships? What's y'all take on that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I've had any bad experiences. I would say I had experiences that had me questioning or wondering afterwards. Um, just in particular, there was a case where I was at a business event and I was speaking with a gentleman, and he was really, really close to me. And that's kind of off putting because usually, you're like an arm's length, you're a
Right.
greeting length away, but he was really, really close to me. And as a woman, sometimes you analyze things like, why is he so close? What is he really trying to, is he trying to get a good look at me, or is he really, trying to talk business? Because it's very intense and very close in nature. And so that was a bit off putting for me.
Mm,
Nah, it's definitely, I think that
And for
kind of
me,
like a unique experience.
Carolyn.
yeah, I was gonna say that for me, I feel like I've had both a good experience and one of the worst experiences as well. Um, I remember this one time I met a friend of my cousin's, and he is in the field that I actually want to start working in, which is in data engineering or data analytics. But I thought he was going to be part of my network. I don't have the luxury of meeting students face to face because I go to an online university full time. So when I go out there, I expect to network with people, and it wasn't clear. His intentions weren't clear at all, and it was a bit confusing. So yeah, I would say I had like one of the worst experiences. He started getting personal about the questions, and it was just getting too close as well. But yeah, I think, yeah, it goes both ways, I guess.
Okay, okay.
So hearing that, y'all, like how do you guys take that? Like how should we take, how you said it's too close, and how we can make, what I'm saying, as far as being men, networking with women, like, taking this as food for thought for us, right? Lynn and Quest.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to an approach or necessarily just out creating business relationships, I think it's like the initial approach. It has to be like, I don't know. I feel like it has to be somewhat of setting the intentions. Like, hey, I'm here to, and of course, as far as space, I think that's just common courtesy with
Yeah.
anybody. Like, look, don't be all up in my face. And but I don't know if y'all had, y'all had some experience, Lenny's or Brandon, like where it was like, okay, like, hey, somebody kind of came off putting just from a simple fact of how they approach you. But I think as far as approaching women, and necessarily, I think it can, you can do it in a way that is letting people know, hey, Destiny, is a pleasure speaking with you. I just want to, see how we can connect further or something of that sort. And I think that
Mhm.
as far as what you say can go one way, but as far as what your body language does, that can tell a whole nother story. What y'all
Yeah.
think?
Definitely.
Exactly.
I would say it's like making a first impression. When you make a first impression, you want to be legit, you want to be firm, you want to be just have a lasting impression on the person. So coming off, like you said, being intentional, being direct, letting you know what it is from the jump, that I'm trying to do business. I see that you're getting things done. I like to get things done. So let's maybe connect if it allows us. If our goals or our business align with each other, then we can take it from there. But I would just mainly say that first impression on sets the tone for how you go about working with the women.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
I'm curious though. Now, have y'all seen, and y'all, like, let's say for instance, Caroline being in South Africa, have you seen any differences between the amount of men compared to women doing business together, or how you may see, let's say for instance, at an event, or let's say at your job space, or whatever space that you're in, do you see a gap between male and female?
I definitely see a gap between men and female because if you look at the stats, right, there are more male-owned businesses and fewer female-founded businesses out there. And I would say that it's due to the fact that, you know, I feel like most investors are middle-aged men, right? And when they network or invest or make investment decisions, they look forward to talking and networking with people like them, which is obviously other men. And I believe that there's still a huge gap, although it's better compared to the past few years. They are female-owned businesses out there, so it's not that bad, but it's still there actually. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. What about you, Destiny? How have what's some differences you've seen? Let's say just from being like the event we went to compared to just being here in general in the United States compared to being in Paris. How have you seen a gender gap altogether in those different lights or spaces?
Yeah, I definitely do see a difference. Just mere culture differences are totally different. The French are very greeting and like warm, welcoming. You say bonjour, you say bonsoir everywhere you go. Like you can't miss it,
Yeah.
right? And they're a little bit more cozy in culture versus Americans. They're very like suit and tie. We're going to keep this professional. But then the French are a little bit more, wine and go out for dinners and have these, talks over a croissant or something. So
Wow.
it is it is a little bit more of a cozier environment, but I do still think it is tailored to that male patriarchal type structure for sure. And the women, like she said, women owned businesses, clearly there is a gap because you can go on Instagram and you can see multiple different people giving out grants for women, get this funding for women. Like there are people pushing it because you don't hear no one saying, oh, grants for men,
Mhm.
grants for middle-aged men or single fathers or things of that nature. It's just not something that's being pushed because they predominantly have the resources, or they have things that are there and available for them. But if you go and find all the women that are talking about the grants that are available for single moms or all those different things, clearly there is a gap that's trying to get filled. So definitely I agree.
I don't know about y'all. That just made me. I'm like, oh snap! I gotta go experience that. That's a cool
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
experience.
Yeah, it's definitely very cozy. Like they don't work very hard and strenuous over here.
Mm,
Like when it's time for lunch, the places, like say you go to a boulangerie or patisserie, which is like a bakery,
mm.
they're closed for lunch too. They want to take their hour, 2 hour for lunch. Yeah, like literally. So they're not, hustling and bustling like in America, but there is still a professional culture.
Gotcha. Okay, okay. And I do have one question. Just I want to go dive a little bit deeper when it comes to networking. As we know that, um, like y'all mentioned, a lot of males own businesses, not a lot of female businesses. But what challenges do you guys face when, say, you have a business and you're going to try to network with another male or other males in general? It's a male dominated space. What challenges do you face when trying to do that?
I'll go first if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Go ahead.
So oh, I feel like in most places that I've
Uh,
been, right? For instance, maybe workshops.
she there?
You breaking up a little bit, Caroline. We can't hear what you're saying.
Please forgive us, y'all. We overseas with it today.
Worldwide.
She should pop back up though.
I think that's a great question, though. Absolutely. I'm definitely curious to see what she mentioned. She mentioned about workshops and whatnot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to see because we never really think about that as males because when we go,
Sorry, can you?
yeah, go ahead.
All good.
So I was saying, obviously, when I go to some workshops, right? I feel like I'm not included in conversations, in important conversations with, especially if like there are more men in that group, and I try to join in conversation. I feel like I don't feel like I'm being included. Like even whatever I say or whatever idea I bring to the table, um, yeah, they can listen to it, but they don't talk further about it, or they just overlook it. And yeah, you can feel that, okay, I'm not really being taken seriously in this position. So yeah, that's one of the challenges I face. So I need to listen instead of also putting my own ideas on the table, for people to listen as well. So yeah,
Mm.
that's definitely one of my challenges.
That's an interesting take.
Mhm.
That is.
I would say the same thing, honestly. It almost feels
Yeah.
like they're not there to speak with us. Like they're there to talk to their kind who they are familiar with doing business with. So it's like you kind of feel like an outsider when you see a predominantly male event, and I take the time to step back sometimes and analyze and see how they're moving, and usually it's moving from one male conversation to another male conversation. They're not going out of their way in particular to speak to women. It's usually like if they do see a woman, it's like they just approach them after they've kind of exhausted their male counterparts, and then it's like, oh, I didn't talk to this young lady, so let me go over here and chat with her. It's not like, let me mingle around, talk to everyone, get different perspectives. It's like, I'm going to talk to who I know, which is someone who looks just like me, who I've done business with. So you definitely feel like you have to try a little bit harder to infiltrate the conversations. But yeah, I definitely feel the same way.
Well, let me ask, why do y'all think? Of course, I think y'all would probably be interested in hearing what we have to say about that. But why do y'all think that is? Why do you think we men may look at it and approach it in that perspective?
I would say, for one,
I
comfort.
feel like mhm.
Yeah, I would say, for one, comfortability. You know, I think we don't even think about it, because if I go into an event, if I see a woman, I'm talking to her like without a thought. If I see a man, I'm like, okay, maybe not that one, maybe like another one. But when it comes to who I'm familiar with, it's like straight off the bat, I don't even think about it. Hey, girl, it's easy to like break the ice because this is someone who you're familiar with. Versus a guy's like, how do I approach this guy? Hello, sir, or how you doing? It's just like you have to put on a different mask. You have to approach in a different persona when talking to the opposite sex.
I definitely agree. I can say when talking to, I feel like as males, when you talk to other women colleagues or other women that you see out as well, you have to be, like we just talked about, you have to be cautious of how you approach them, how you talk to them, what you talk about, because you don't want to overstep your boundaries or just say something out of pocket. So I've been in situations where I had to say, not that lady, maybe that lady, not her. Maybe. I definitely understand where you're coming from, and it's just I like to hear this because I guess it goes for both sides.
Mhm.
Caroline, what you was about to
I
say?
just want to add something on that. So I was gonna say that I feel like the reason why, well, I'm gonna speak as a woman. I'm not gonna speak for you guys. I'm gonna speak for the women, right? I feel that most men are quick to judge when it comes to these business networking events. I feel like men are quick to judge because of the myths that have been installed in them that women are incapable and incompetent because of the things we have to go through and the things that are expected of us from the society, like, taking care of the family and all that. So obviously, they don't understand us and the ideas we come into the table. They don't try to understand us because they've already have these ideas at the back of their head that, oh well, what is she gonna say? What is she really going to say that will actually change anything that's going on in this world? But we have different shared experiences. That's what they don't understand. We can actually come with better ideas if they just gave us a chance. So I just feel like they're quick to judge, and it's also the myths that they believe in. So maybe that's why they act the way they do, I guess.
Wow.
I would definitely say stereotypes play into it a lot as well. Just, speaking for American
Hmm.
culture, when you look at some
Hmm.
movies that deal with businessmen, it's always the female secretary or the female assistant that's a subordinate to the owner who is, a male. And so I think maybe they don't even realize how they view us is in revolt around the culture, like the professional culture in America. Like women, subordinate, offer it. Let me talk to the alphas over here, type thing.
And just to clarify everything before if I say anything wrong, I have no problem working with women. I love working with women because they always find a way to get whatever task needs to be done. They find a way to get it done. I work with a few women now, and they're always on it. They're always on point. So just want to give my kudos to you guys. Like I'm not down to you guys at all. I just like to hear the different perspectives of how we all think, and it's crazy to hear, but it is. I love
Now
it.
it's true because what I've realized in business is that at first, honestly, when I got into business, I was like, okay, let's try to work with all types of people, right? And then next thing you know, I figured out that when it comes to being business partners with certain individuals, to be honest with you, it sounds good that that men, but I think really what we see, like say for instance, you guys are at a networking event. If you see a group of men together talking, 9 times out of 10, they're having like I want to say 9 times out of 10, but a lot of times they're having an ego battle, right? And what I mean by that is that they're going back and forth talking about who's better. Like they probably not directly talking about who's better, but indirectly they're just trying to throw. They want to be the one to throw the good jab out, right? And so what I found is that I don't want to work with them, right? I want to work with a woman that has ambition, right? That knows that understands the value of collaboration, right? And so a lot of times when I found when it's like men, a lot of men together, I think that's how me, Brandon, and Lennox, we've been able to work so well together because we don't really care who's number one, who's number two. Like we together, you know what I mean? But in a lot of situations when you find men, everybody wants to be number one, right? And so that is a tough situation to be in. But I think that's majority of the challenges that we find. But I don't know how you feel about that. Lennox and Brandon, like what's y'all take on what they just shared as far as maybe some ways that we can kind of move different.
So I'll say off rip just from listening in, like uh I like to think back like what's the root cause or like what's the source, and I like to look back at like what history has done and see stuff like that. So I like to think of like our leaders back during times when like people was like oppressed, like during war times. You look at like the Civil War, you had people like Harriet Tubman leading the slaves out, and she was leading men and women. So it's like she was forcing people to be a better version of themselves, get out of this slavery, lead themselves to it. So when you look at it like that way, how can we find women like that like to work like that? You know what I'm saying? That like to lead men, because like Destiny said, the idea of it now is like the woman is like the woman's secretary, she's subordinate, she under the man. But it's a way that we can like change the program on that to where it's men and women on top, or the woman is on top and not the man is the secretary or whatever. But like, just working together in oneness. Like it just needs to be, people need to put our pride aside, like how you said it's an ego battle. We need to put that aside and just work on how can we progress and make a better system for our people to be a part of, because that's what it's really all about, creating creating businesses and groups of like-minded individuals like ourselves. So I'm just, yeah, that's what I take from it, just changing the program behind it, how we program to move.
So for me, I would definitely say it starts with us as males, uh, being bettering ourselves every day. Because what you are, you attract. So if we go out and we're high value men, we attract. Because there's a plenty high value women out here who are, like we say, about their business, can get things done. And so if we go out, we should attract that, and it shouldn't scare us off. We should want to collaborate because, okay, boom, both of us together can do some great things, or me and you plus another one of your partners can do something even better. So it's about collaboration, being one, and being your best self. And once you do that, us all together, or us having the same goal and working together, we can be unstoppable. But as you mentioned, ego sometimes does get in the way majority of the time, but it's possible. It's just you gotta make yourself. You gotta attract what you want to be, or attract what you're trying to get.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Think so.
You almost made me say amen.
Yeah, don't be ashamed. You can say it.
Yeah. Change your program. Then you say, making sure that you become the best version of yourself so you can attract what
Right.
it is that you want. I'm curious, right? Because we talked about Destiny, you mentioned about when you guys, let's say for instance, you go out, you have some business luncheons or whatnot. I think Lenny's, I don't know, I think last time we had went out, we talked about that, like, just go and have those business conversations. But my question to you, Destiny, like when you think about those experiences that you've seen in Paris, and when it comes to going out and having a glass of wine, like when you think of when all of you guys think about mixing the aspect of business but also pleasure, but also allowing that fine line to be able to say, hey, this is at the end of the day, we're still human beings. Let's act like it, right? Let's literally go. Let's go sit down. Let's go to lunch or let's go to dinner, and let's of course we got to eat. We got to do those different things. So let's pick a time to do that, have those conversations, and create a business relationship. But I'm curious. I know you said in Paris, y'all got it's a little different culture out there. But what is that? What does that really look like?
So I've had the experience on a grander scale, like in a group. I haven't had it in a one-on-one type of situation. But as far as group settings are concerned, the males or the men are, how do I say, they're more we, you know, they're more French. I don't know a better way to say it. They're definitely more French. They have that French essence, the suave, just because of the culture that they live in. It's not, I don't feel like, oh, he trying to get at me or anything like that. Because if it was in America and a guy was being really, really suave in a professional setting, I would be like, okay, this isn't right. But understanding the culture and how they operate and the things that they value, the customs, that really helps me put it into perspective and come out of the American mindset of doing business and emerging into the culture of doing business in France and dealing with those people, learning how to relax, when I see a guy, a French guy who's coming up to me and he's, the intense looks and stuff like that. It's just how they approach, it's just who they are in nature by culture. And so I would say for me, that just looks like, just for example, French guy comes up to you, oh, how are you doing? What is your name? What brings you here? The little the accent and all the things, it's just is like, this is very interesting.
Right.
This is very interesting because in America that looks like something else,
Right.
but over here, that's just what it is.
Wow. Nah, that's cool. That's definitely unique and different, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So Caroline, like what's your take? Like have you experienced something like that? How is it different in your perspective and in you guys' culture? Because what I got from what Destiny said, it's a culture thing, right? And if y'all know here in America, it's like it's a certain culture as far as how we expect things to be. And then our energy towards each other is like we have a lot of assumptions and we allow that to kind of dictate how we act with one another. But Caroline, how is the culture where you're at?
I feel like it's definitely different from Destiny's what you call this outlook on things that side. I feel like this side it's different. If a guy really likes you and has no intentions of networking with you, you can tell. They're very straight about what they want. Well,
Mm,
Cape Town, to be honest, it has a lot of different people from different countries. So it's really hard to tell sometimes because obviously if I meet a person, a South African, it's easy to know where you guys stand because they'll make things clear. But say maybe you at a workshop or something something, they'll make their intentions clear from the beginning, like what they want and where we're taking this to. They will obviously act in a way that they'll probably not take your personal details. Let's start there. I see people in Cape Town, they have this culture of giving Instagram tags instead of cell phone numbers. That's when you know, okay, this person is not about that. He's not that. This person really doesn't want us to connect on a personal level. They just want us to connect on a business level. We networking. We just going to be in each other's circles for this particular reason, just to network. So I think the intentions are more clear than obviously the French people. You have to get to know them, like you said, Destiny. But yeah, I think it's different everywhere. The side they very, yeah, you'll see like the intentions are clear. They are mindful of the way they act because they don't want to obviously make you think that okay, they want something personal with you. It's just all about business. That's it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Wow. We learned a
That,
Sounds
lot.
really easy to navigate, that's for sure.
right. Hey,
Yeah,
Caroline,
it is.
I do have one more question for you, Caroline. So I know I'm
Sure.
pretty you stay in Cape Town, but I'm sure you've been to. I want to say we did we fly from what did we fly from Joburg to Cape Town? Is that where we met you at, or was it Cape Town?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was flying from Joburg.
Okay, so can you explain the difference between the culture and working with people in Cape Town versus Johannesburg? Because as we know, there's two different type of cultures and two different type of people within the two
Mm-hmm.
countries, states,
Country.
cities.
They
Mm.
it's,
Um,
it's
honestly, I don't think I can say much about how different the culture is in terms of networking and getting to know people out there. Because obviously, I stayed in Johannesburg for most of my life, but I was a
Hmm.
student at the time, so obviously, I was just always in the school setting. Compared to
Right.
here, I'm now working. I think I've only worked in Cape Town, and I get to meet more people in Cape Town. But I would say that this side, obviously, we meet a lot of races and there's a lot of culture here, like just different cultures in Cape Town. Johannesburg, it's more South Africans and
Hmm.
yeah, people from obviously African countries and not from Germany, England, and yeah, it's just people from Africa. And Africans are very straight. Honestly, they're straightforward. It's you don't have to think twice about their actions. They'll
mm,
like the way they act is how they feel about you. So yeah, it's quite easy to navigate where you stand with this person if you're in Johannesburg, I guess. And yeah.
yeah, that was one of the biggest things that like me and Lennox like the whole trip about it when all the other people was with us, they were saying like what is something that y'all noticing that's different while you here in Africa versus back at home. And the key thing I would kept saying was y'all tell it straight how it is, straight up. You don't
Whoa.
y'all don't do no go around or beat around the bush or like have any like any second narrative that could be inferred. Like compared to here in America, we kind of like talk real cool. Our slang is kind of like you just got to know what's going on, and like sometimes, and if you don't, it's like well, you just out the loop. You just missed it. It went over your head. But there, y'all tell it straightforward. So that's another thing that's like the intentions aspect. Like here, our intentions are just can be A to Z, as compared to just A and B. Like, and that's the way it's supposed to be. But yeah, that's I recognize that.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
That
Okay.
is dope.
Okay. Now I'm thinking like I wasn't expecting this. I'm gonna be honest. Like we learning so much from y'all from different cultures, and I think that's important because if we take it back to the beginning of the conversation, we talked about okay, what are some bad approaches? What are some things that really happen? But then we talk about okay, what are different cultures like and how they go about doing it. And now I feel like maybe we all kind of can take the different experiences and then make it our own. And so next time we do go networking, and now we can kind of make the best of it. You know what I mean? But hey, like this is, I feel like we need some more time because I want to dig a little bit more, but you know, that's pretty cool. I like you guys takeaways.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is what I was thinking about, right? Well, I don't know if y'all remember. So when we was at a Black Millionaire Experience, and we talk about bad approaches one time. One time I had walked up with someone, and I had asked them. I was like, hey, I think I had saw them at an event before. I was like, I asked them, hey, tell me about what you do with real estate. And next, I started telling them, like, okay, they're telling me about real estate. And next, there's like, I asked them, tell me about what you do with, as a hostess. And I was trying to find some common ground so we can connect, right? And she was giving me like very dry answers, right? And then next thing you know, she hit me with, I feel like you're trying to interview me. And so I'm like, dang, I felt so bad when she said that, but I was like, okay, well, so this is what I told her. I said, well, actually I am. So, because at the end of the day, I'm trying to see if we can connect, right? I'm like, can we connect? I'm trying to see if there's room for us to collaborate. And when I tell you she was not going for it, and it was just like, but I kind of peeped that it was more of like she realized that she was kind of doing multiple things. And then when I approached her on that level, it was like, okay, like I don't know how it was, but I'm curious from y'all perspective when it comes to just finding that common ground. What does that look like? Because I think Destiny mentioned when you walk into an event, we're gonna go to the people that we're comfortable with, right? And so it's easy to from a girl to girl say, "Hey, girl, I like your purse, I like your nails," you know what I mean? But from a guy, we gotta go and we gotta say something a little bit different. You know what I mean? So, what are some tips you guys would give us? We can start with Destiny. What are some tips you would give us as far as how to really find that common ground when it comes to just networking?
Yeah, I think your example was really, really good because when you find women that don't really want to give you too much explanation, I think that's time for you to move on, and talk to someone who you might have a better chance finding some common ground with. So I think learning from that experience is a good place to start. When you see that, okay, I understand that, finding that stopping point, because at the end of the day, she felt interviewed, and it's like she may or may not talk to you ever again after that. And so, like, approaching a woman, like, usually women are pretty talkative, we're pretty open and flowy with our conversations. And I think that's a great place for you to go ahead and ask those questions. If you see the responses, if you see the body language, they're looking open and wanting to share with you, I think that's where you can find that common ground, because clearly she's probably waiting to hear something interesting from you. She's probably waiting to find some common ground with you. And so if you see the conversation is, going back and forth, I think eventually you'll find that common ground or those common interests.
Yeah, I
Great
like
tip. Great tip.
taking notes. What you think, Caroline?
Well, I would I would say use humor. That's
Mm,
that's the best way to go about it. Um, but also be respectful while you cracking that joke. I feel
mm,
that using humor helps people be in their comfort zone and they can be more open, and you're creating a connection right there. Um, because even if, well, you need to understand that it's important for you to connect with this person. It's not about what they're going to offer or put to the table, but it's about the people that person knows.
mm,
Like, I mean, I met Brandon and now I know you know what I mean. So you have to, obviously, you have a goal in mind. You want to connect to this person and connect to the people in that person's circle. So use humor, approach them in a way, in a respectful way. Use humor to break the ice. I do that a lot, and I tell you, I'm such an extrovert. It's crazy. So I find that people have this idea of me at the first, like, their perspective of me from the first time we meet is just crazy. Like, they think maybe I'm intimidating or something like that. But so I end up obviously cracking a joke because I know I am funny. I crack a joke, and yeah, they start opening up. They start opening up, and I know a lot about this person in like a few minutes. And yeah, I would say that way. And then also get to know them. Don't be well, obviously, when you get to know someone, don't ask obvious questions that you're just clearly trying to connect. Get to know them. Like for me and Brendan, we started off like we're friends. He was very friendly, and yeah, I could see that he was just genuine, such a genuine person. And then from there, obviously knew that okay, now we're connecting. At some point in life, we're going to collaborate, this and that. So yeah, try to get to know them and what they're up to and what they're trying to accomplish, and then see if you can add some value to what they're doing, and you create a connection. And yeah, then you find obviously things you have in common, and yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
They schooling us.
It's
Man,
cool.
Hey, so I do have one more question for you guys. Just after talking with you all, I noticed that you all have like some type of ambition to go get it, just persistence. So I'm curious to know, like, this is just a question that you can answer for your own real life. How are you going to use that to pursue your career? You know what I'm saying? Your skill sets, like what the skill sets that you have, how are you going to use that to advance your career?
That's a great
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
question. Because I feel like
Destiny, you go first.
just being the embodiment of that, we do it. Well, personally, me, I do it and I don't even realize I'm doing it. So I think starting to take inventory of the times when I am using my skills, because being an entrepreneur is just in you. You don't realize, oh, you stayed up until 2 a.m. working on something because it's just in you to do it. You feel it to get it done. You're passionate about it, you're connecting with it. And so sometimes I don't even realize when I'm using my skill set because it's like a part of who I am. And so I think keeping that love and that connection and that passion with what I'm doing will eventually get me to my next step. And I can't speak for everyone else, but it just feels very free flowing. It feels like, not to say I don't try, of course I try, but it doesn't feel like I'm putting every last blood, sweat, and tear into it because it's moving in me. It's who I am. Like they
Right.
say, it ain't on me, it's in me.
There we
So
go.
so I think, um, again, taking inventory of when I am using my skill set and be more strategic with it instead of just flowing with it. Just say, I'm going to spend, this amount of time doing X, Y, and Z, and, really make my skill set work for me and not so much my skill set working through me. I want to like take hold of it, hone it in, and know when to apply it because I'm not always going to be an entrepreneur doing, pretty much everything myself. At some point, I will be delegating. I will be, giving tasks to other people. So I would have to hone in on my skill set and sometimes give it away. Let someone else do it. Let a company handle it or let an individual handle it. And so I think for me right now where I am in my journey is recognizing my skill set, honing it in, and understanding that do the best that I can right now while I'm loving it, enjoying it, and have all the energy to put into it until one day I have to let somebody else do it.
Great.
Like that.
Caroline, you got anything to say to that one?
Yeah. um, I guess for me, I feel like I'm great at working with people. I'm an excellent salesperson, and I could use that in obviously my future career. I'm obviously looking into going to business analytics, and I feel like the first thing is being able to approach people and talking to them in a way that they fully open up to you and you can help them solve whatever problems they need to solve. I think also being an extrovert, and I think I have the luxury of knowing a lot more than introverts. Sorry to all the introverts, but I'm just saying I feel like I get to connect with a lot of people and get a lot of information that I would obviously use in my career. Connecting to people, knowing what they want, and helping them achieve their goals. And I hope someday I'll be a motivational speaker and, talking to young people, especially young girls, empowering them to do the best they can in this world. And yeah, yeah, I, I think that's all I have to say.
Man, I don't know about y'all, but I feel like y'all have inspired me. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm ready to go run through a brick wall right now. Like, yeah, I'm serious. Like, as this show comes to a close, um, it being Women's History Month, we gotta definitely take our hats off to y'all, right? Because you guys have really just shared just from the moments that we've been speaking. One thing that I really like from what both of you guys said, I don't even know if y'all realize that, is that Destiny said it's not on me, it's in me. But basically, even before she said that, Caroline said basically the same thing. She said, I'm able to connect with people through my humor. And she says because she knows that she's funny. Right? Honestly, right? Like, think about that. I think speaking with certain people, certain people don't realize that they have certain skill sets, that they have certain power within them. You know what I mean? And I think that you guys really show and embody that in regards to, just even the conversation today. So when you say, hey, I want to be on the stage, I want to be empowering women, like, we see that. You're doing that right now for the women that is watching, and Destiny has done some amazing things as far as like being able to have the faith and just go off to a whole nother country and stay there for 6 months. I don't know. That's kind of wild to me, but I think that's pretty dope. But I think we got something exciting to close it out. There's something called like some trivia questions. So let's try to see where y'all at with some. Let's see. Let me see. I guess one of you guys throw out the first question. I'm trying to see if I can.
Yeah. No worries.
Throw out the first question.
Let's see what these young ladies know. Y'all ready?
Go ahead.
In what year
Ready?
did the United States declare March 8th as International Women's Day?
You got me there.
Oh my word.
Take a guess. It's okay. I give you a time frame. It's between 1950 and 1980.
1965.
You close?
Close.
What's your guess, Caroline?
1970.
Ooh, that's closer. Okay, I'm gonna get the answer is 1975.
Oh, shoot. Dang.
I gotta know that one.
But then we made it the whole month, like we do everything else that deserves great celebrations. Celebrated for the month.
That's what's up.
Definitely.
Give us another one, man.
I wasn't expecting that one. Y'all should get that. Y'all should definitely get this one. Hopefully. Who is the first woman of South Asian descent to be elected as Vice President of the United States?
South Asian?
Descent, yeah.
Wow.
Vice President?
Wow.
Yes, of the United States. The first woman of South Asian descent to be elected as the Vice President of the U.S.
Keyword woman.
I think the South Asian part throwing them off, bro.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
It is. It really is.
Think about woman.
Just woman, though.
Kamala?
There we go.
Like South Asian.
There we go.
You got it, girl.
Ding, ding, ding. That's what's up.
All right, I got one. Who was the first Black woman to serve in the military?
Ooh.
That's wow.
I'll give you another hint. It's was it the First War? No, it wasn't the First War. It was during the Civil War.
You got me there.
Yeah. I can't think of any.
We talked about her today though.
Oh yeah, I had mentioned her earlier.
I
Really?
know it's not Miss Harriet.
Yeah,
Is it Miss Harriet?
yeah,
Oh yes, I did watch the movie. She did join. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
She was in
Oh,
there.
yes,
She
you
was
did
in
speak
there.
of her. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
then
good.
when you really think about it, it's like, dang, she was. That's why I said like alluded to that because it's like we had women way back then doing what like doing stuff that women to this day would think of and be like, dang, she did that. What am I like? Then you question yourself, like, what am I doing? And like men can do the same thing because like she was directing men. Today I was at a panel with Dr. Umar, and he the one that like brought it to my attention, and he was basically explaining how she got asked one time and was like, how do you feel about how many people you freed? Because everybody associated her with the Underground Railroad and stuff like that. And one key thing that she said was she freed hundreds of people, but she could have freed thousands, but some people just didn't even know that they was a slave. Like their mind was so controlled to where like she couldn't even control them. But she said the people that she did have on her wing when they got scared and heard like the hounds coming and heard people on them, she said he said that she would like pull her gun and put it on them and say, hey, either you gonna die right here or you gonna keep going, because if you go back you still gonna die. And so she said she never had any deaths on her trips, like, so she was able to like corral people and get them together and like, you know what I'm saying, just just get them for the cause. And I feel like that should be paid homage to our young people today, especially our young Black people, to come together as one and make it, make great things happen. That's just what we need to do.
100%. I love that. And I know we're closing soon, but I know you mentioned, Caroline, that you were an extrovert. And for any of the introverted girlies out there, I am an introvert myself. And so if you're like a woman and you feel shy, you feel very introverted, like business isn't for you, if you feel the passion, go for it. Like your talent will make room for you. Even if you're not the loudest person in the room, even if you're not the biggest personality in the room, if it's for you, it's for you. So that's for the introverted girlies.
Definitely.
Y'all just dropping gems on gems. What you about to say, Caroline?
Yeah, I just wanted to just add on something before. I know we're closing up soon, but I just wanted to encourage young men out there to continuously learn and grow, and keep themselves up to date with the challenges that women face, so they can I don't know, so they can obviously include women in everything they do, and also provide mentorship to women if you feel like they're not included in a certain criteria or field that you're in. Just try to create some sort of awareness where you are. Like, it starts with you, literally. So yeah, that's all I want to say. Just
do what you can to bring us in the fold.
Exactly.
Oh,
definitely.
You just dropped the mic right there, man.
That's it.
That's what's up. So let's close it out. Like anything you guys want to share, any exciting things you guys been working on that you want the people to know about.
Yeah, being the owner of a talent marketplace and being here in Paris, what we do, we connect creators with the creatives. So like we had an event for models, business owners, where we brought the photographers, the models, the business owners all in one room together. The business owners had models for their products. The models had the photographers to take their pictures. The photographers had a portfolio. Like everyone was getting served in one area and in one room. And so while we're here in Paris, definitely going to be trying to get, if we can emerge it in Paris, we want to take something from Paris and bring it over, because it's a totally different market and, things of that nature. But what we like to do is bring people together under one roof, especially for our Black creatives and our minority-owned brands. And so Follow at Nubian Beauty District on Instagram to keep up with us, keep up with our journey. It's a very personal journey. And so I like to connect my audience with me being here in Paris, what that's looking like. I share my personal struggles while being here. And so we're like a family. We love each other real bad. So
I,
get
lo-
on with it.
I love that, and I wanted to add real quick, because we, for one, you was doing events here, right? In United
Mhm.
States, and then next thing you know, you're dealing with models, you're leading women, and you literally models. When I think about models, I think about Paris, right? And
Yeah,
next thing you know, she went to Paris. Like that. That's
literally.
a lot about what you're doing. Like, hey, Destiny, you the real deal, right? And I think we did an event together, and I spoke with some people that was at the event, and they
Mhm.
said a lot of great things about you. So I just want to say kudos to you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely want to be in the places that the models want to be in. Like Paris is everyone's final, destination. If I could just walk in Paris, that would just be everything for me. And so here I am, 3 events later in Paris. So I just think the trajectory is off the charts, and I'm just so excited for what's going to come next.
Yes, ma'am.
Blessings.
Mm,
What you got, Caroline?
yeah.
Great.
I'm obviously I have a lot going on my side, guys. Like I'm literally everywhere. I'm just like the sky's my limit. I'm into fashion. I'm into this. I really don't know, but like I think I'm just gonna say right now I'm working on I have a team that I joined recently, and we're working on an app. Well, it's a mental health app, and it's going to. I can't say much about it because it's a work in progress, but we're creating an app that helps people deal with their mental issues a little better. That's inclusive of everyone dealing with any type of mental issue, connecting people from like the whole globe. And yeah, we have women and men in the group, and that's pretty much exciting that I'm part of this. Having the stereotypes out there that only men can do it, and that. I'm excited about what we're working on. It's going great actually. So yeah, that's all I want to say.
Wow.
Great.
Yeah, that's what's up. Powerful.
Powerful. Hey, that's another show of the game plan. We was able to speak with some amazing women, and really celebrate Women History Month, and empower some women that's listening, but also empowering men in regards to how can you connect with other women and really make sure that your business relationships can flourish. So I thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll be back for another show next month.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Thank you,
Yep.
everybody.
Blah.
Yes. Bye.